Welcome to Seneca Indians Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. Now, let's go to Ben Walcott, live on location.
And a pleasant, good Tuesday afternoon, and we welcome you here to a rainy and wet Seneca, Missouri, as we get set for high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. I'm Ben Walcott, joined by Coach Darryl Hallbaugh. Your countdown to first pitch sponsor, People's Bank of Seneca. It is the 6-9-1 Cassville Wildcats coming in 0-5 in Big 8 play versus the 16-6 Seneca Indians coming in at 4-2. In Big 8 play, and Darryl, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens here. The rain has picked up in the past probably 20 minutes or so, but Seneca is out there warming up, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, they're warming up, but, you know, I got a feeling that maybe when the umpires get here and figure stuff out and talk about it, they may try to hold off, look at the radar. I think it's supposed to ease up, you know, here in about 30, 45 minutes. They may try to hold off until then. Who knows?
And we'll see if Cassville even bothers to warm up is the other thing to see as well. So it's a game that you really kind of do need to get in, Darryl, because Cassville is a Big 8 opponent as well as a district opponent.
Well, yeah, you have to get this game in, as well as the one tomorrow night. You know, and with East Newton, those are Big 8 games or district games. You have to get those in. So you're trying your best to do what you can do. You know, Mother Nature likes to fight baseball season, and you just got to play everything by ear and try to get everything in when you can.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, you know, they said it wasn't going to rain all day Tuesday or all day Wednesday. It's just different parts of the day, and it just so happens, at least today, who knows tomorrow. We'll wait and see for tomorrow, but it didn't rain until I got into Seneca about 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, it held off, but you could see it in the you just see this cloud cover coming. Looking on the radar, it's like, uh-oh, it's going to be right here at game time. Instead of waiting until about 7, it's going to hit about 4, and that's just basically when it can start coming down.
Go ahead, take a time out. Come back with more of the preview after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10-plus acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Hi, I'm Pastor Rod Van Gorkum, of First Baptist Church Seneca. And I would like to take a minute and share about grace. What is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something you don't deserve. See, I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God gives away to me and to others by His grace. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11, "For the grace of God hath appeared, bringing salvation to all men." Have you accepted God's gift of grace, His salvation through His Son, Jesus Christ? If not, please do, for the Bible says today is the day of salvation. For KNEO Radio, I'm Rod Van Gorkum.
And we welcome you back as kind of in a holding pattern here, just trying to figure out, talk here for a little bit, get a pregame in, and then see what they do here. And like you said, Daryl, it looks like this is kind of the heaviest rain here at the moment, these next 30, 45 minutes, and then see what happens. I think you're still going to be fighting rain most of the game, but I do think it's supposed to lighten up the later on in the evening you go. And Cassville's already here, so I'm sure they're not wanting to have to sit around and wait around for hours on end.
Yeah, I don't think there's any talk about rescheduling. I think they're just, if there's anything at all, Ben, they may wait, give it 30 minutes, to get some of this weather that you're looking at out of here. It's supposed to move out of here. It's supposed to lighten up and then kind of dissipate out for a while.
Yeah, it looks like by 7 o'clock it's supposed to be out of here. But, Daryl, as we know, that can change because there was a football game I did 4 or 5 years ago with somebody else, and we were joking about how, it's supposed to be done by kickoff, and it was a steady rain the whole game. So,
well,
it just sometimes happens that way.
Even the East Newton game that they have to make up. All the stuff that they forecasted, all the rain was supposed to move north of us. Well, guess what? It didn't move north of us. It just went straight south and went right over the top of us.
Seneca comes into the contest 16-6 overall, 4-2 in Big 8 play, and they lost to Lebanon last Friday, but they have won 5 of their past 6, and you're looking to get some momentum going into tournament play, Daryl, and it'll be interesting to see. There are some changes to the schedule here for Seneca, as Saturday is still kind of TBD on if there is going to be a game or not, and then next Tuesday they host Wheatland because of the fact that Neosho dropped them earlier.
Right, CJ on Monday, and Wheatland on Tuesday, and Wheatland's making a pretty good trip just to get down here. I mean, they're up there toward Rolla, north of Rolla.
Oh, wow.
They're up there north of Lake Palminteri, if you know where that's at. But anyway, that's
I don't, but people watching might.
North of Springfield, quite a ways. Just a little. They're a 1A school, but they're 20 and what did I tell you? 23.
You said 20-3, and they're actually ranked third in Class 1. Those state rankings came out yesterday, and Seneca actually, for the first time since I've been here, they're in the top 10 in Class 4. They sit at 10th. So. The athletic director, Rich Atkins, is actually here, and so we'll see. I'm guessing he's going to be talking to the umpires about what they want to do. I saw him talking to Chris a minute ago, and so I'm sure he's coming over to the umpires, and they're going to have a nice conversation, and we may have to see what they want to do.
Yeah, they may just – who knows? They may look at it. They may look at the forecast. They may look at the when it's supposed to dissipate. They may delay a little bit. Who knows? Or they may just decide to – go ahead and play in it and let it dissipate on its own.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, both teams have warmed up in it, so both teams kind of know what they're getting into. The biggest thing is, and it's something I've noticed in the major league level, as long as the pitchers can, grip the ball and the hitters can see the ball, those are kind of the two biggest things to be able to do that. Because if you start slipping on one of those things, that's when you get in trouble. So,
yeah, they've just got to be, just careful out there that everybody can kind of grip the ball and throw it, and fielding may be something, and quick throws to first base. If you're in a hurry, maybe something with a wet ball. So it's going to be a little trying for a little bit, I think.
Cassville 6-9-1 overall, 0-5 in Big 8 play. They actually snapped a 5-game losing streak, beating the Hollister last Friday. 6-2 was the final score of that one. Before that, their last win was against Sparta. So we'll have to see. They still have to make up. They also have a suspended game to make up as well. They have to finish their game against McDonald County. They had an 8-0 lead in the third inning of their game as well, because Mac did the same thing Seneca did, and thinking that they could get that game in, and it just went further south than they thought. So that's a game that needs to be finished at some point too, and they had an 8-0 lead there. Yeah,
Cassville's not a bad team. The record is not indicated of what this team can do, because we've seen it all year, Ben, and down here in this the Big 8 conference and in this area, any team can beat anybody on any given day. If you get the right breaks and hit the ball at the right time, you're good, and you can, you have a good chance to win.
You look at the matchup here today. Seneca 11-2 at home. Cassville 3-3 on the road. Seneca averages about 6 runs a game while giving up 3, and Cassville averages about 5 while giving up 6.
Yeah, I mean, you just, like I said, Cassville can come in here. It depends on who's pitching, who's hitting. If they get a hit, they're a good team. But anyway, I think we're getting ready to. They're announcing. They're trying to announce, giving the lineups out here, and they're getting ready to go.
We'll get you the starting lineups for Seneca as well. Your starting lineup sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Prater's Pharmacy. First for Cassville, leading off for them is Easton Hughes. Batting second is Jaron Stearns. Batting third, Simon Gates. The cleanup hitter is Bodie Rose, the quarterback for them, a very good all-around athlete for Cassville.
Yes.
Batting fifth is Colton Roark. Sixth is Mason Bryan. Seventh is Miller Reed. Eighth is Austin Meltebarger. And ninth is Baxton Cornell. The extra player is their left fielder, Jaden Castleberry. For Seneca, they'll look like this in the field. Drew Sherwood is on the mound here this afternoon. Silas Ball is catching him. Left to right in the outfield, you will have Ian Heffron in left, Caden Klaus in center, and Ryan Owens in right. Left to right in the infield, you'll have Grant Houchin at third, Jagger Wilson at short, Braden Roark at second, and Hagen Ginger at first, with Ball catching Sherwood here this afternoon. We'll get you Seneca's batting order when they come to the plate. Take a timeout, come back with the ball game after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I've seen First Community Bank all over, but then to take my stuff to some people that didn't really know me and took a chance, that spoke volume.
I'll always be grateful to First Community and that whole team over at Harrison that helped get me started.
Anytime I need anything, just a phone call away. We're really proud to be with First Community Bank.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian Sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians! Hottle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Hottle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HottleSpringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Hottle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, we want to go to heaven with you.
And we welcome you back as we get set for action here between Seneca and Cassville. Seneca's batting order will look like this. Drew Sherwood leads things off. Jagger Wilson batting second. Silas Ball third. Hagen Ginger is your cleanup hitter. Grant Houchin batting fifth. Ian Heffron sixth. Asher Prater seventh. Ryan Owens eighth. And Braden Roark ninth. Cassville looks like this. Easton Hughes leads things off. Jaron Sturds batting second. Simon Gates third. Bodie Rose, the cleanup hitter. Colton Roark is batting fifth. Mason Bryant sixth. Miller Reed seventh. Austin Meltebarger eighth. And Baxton Cornell ninth. And if you can pitch through this heavy rain, we might be able to get this one in.
I don't know. You call it heavy? Steady.
Yeah. Steady. Yeah, that's probably better phrasing than heavy, but steady rain.
Yeah, it's not really a heavy rain, but it's one that can be annoying. It's just steady.
As Seneca will be in the all whites, white pants, white tops, blue and red trim, blue numbers in the back, red numbers in the front. Cassville, the all blacks, but they got gray pants, black tops, gold trim, and gold numbers here this afternoon. As Sherwood is getting his warm-up tosses completed here.
Yeah, errors are going to be crucial in today's game, ball being wet, the field being wet, to get base hits, get, grounders. Can you field them clean? Can you get a good grip? Can you throw it, make a good throw? We might see a few here, especially starting off.
Easton Hughes to lead things off here for Cassville against Drew Sherwood. 69 degrees here at first pitch in a steady rain. And it is first pitch at 4:28. So that first fastball is fired in there, and the count's 0-1. As here comes the 0-1, and that pitch is spiked in the dirt. Counts 1-1. And Darryl, it's a very good thing that Seneca has turf nowadays, because otherwise this game is not happening, because it's in the quagmire as that pitch is fouled off and the count's 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you think about it, that East Newton makeup game tomorrow. I mean, I don't know how they're going to have it at East Newton. I don't see it letting off, and being able to clear up and dry up. So.
As here comes the 1-2, and that pitch is fouled back to the screen. This count remains 1-2 strikes.
The umpire's going to have a hard time just keeping the ball dry if he didn't have a towel or anything.
Yeah, and that may be where the benches come into play. As here comes another 1-2. That pitch is yanked down the left field line, and Hughes is making Sherwood work. And I think, Darryl, this is exactly what we're talking about, as they're trying to keep things dried off here. Yeah. As much as possible.
Yeah, they're already out of baseballs. As far as, foul balls, he's fouled off like 3 or 4 in a row.
Count remains 1-2 here on Hughes. Comes another 1-2, and it hits him. And that's exactly what we're talking about with trying to make sure you can have control.
Well, if you got a ball out there that's a little bit wet and slippery or something like that, you try to throw breaking balls. They're going to slip out of your hand. You try to throw those things. I think you're going to see mostly a lot of fastballs in today's game.
Maybe some change-ups as well.
Yeah, maybe that.
Jaron Stearns comes to the plate for Cassville. Here comes the first pitch to him, and that's low. And the count's 1-0. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, ProLube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 1-0 the count here on Stearns. Here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood. That is over for a strike, and the count's 1-1. kind of a get-me-over strike there for Sherwood.
Yeah, and there'd be maybe a lot of that in the range, is trying to get it over the plate. Not a very big lead off, so Drew's looking. Oh, got close.
And Sherwood has a very good pickoff move over there at first base, and so, like you said, there's not going to be a lot of probably big leads by Cassville.
No.
Here comes that 1-1, and that's fouled out of play, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, like you said, his move to the mound and his move to pick off is basically the same. They're hard to tell the difference. And you can't get very far off that base.
1-2 the count here on Stearns. Here comes the 1-2. And that 1-2 is a fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. There's one down here as Simon Gates will come to the plate. And, you know, both these pitchers, I would even say, Darryl, it was raining even heavier 10 or 15 minutes ago when they were warming up. So it's a steady rain here, but as he throws behind and getting back safely is Hughes.
He's not very far off the base, but he was wanting to take his secondary lead off when Drew threw it over there, so he barely got back in time.
As here comes the first pitch to Gates. That's swung on and missed. Missed the high heat, and the count's 0-1. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, and Prairie Top Chiropractic, all sponsoring the broadcast. Hughes reached on a hit by pitch to start the game, and that was a 1-2 count. As that fastball misses the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. Seneca has a 5-0 lead over East Newton through 3 innings. That game is supposed to be completed tomorrow.
Yeah, and who knows? They've changed the forecast on it. It might rain mostly.
As they are keeping a close eye on Hughes at first base. Count remains 1-1 here on Gates. Here comes the 1-1. That's swung on and missed. So he goes off speed there, and the count's 1-2. As here comes the 1-2 offering. And that's a high fastball. That's nowhere close, and the count's 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 offering from Sherwood. That's swung on and missed. So after a hit by pitch, back-to-back strikeouts by Sherwood, as Bodie Rose will come to the plate here for Cassville. And he was quarterback on that Cassville football team.
Yeah, good athlete. There's several good athletes down at Cassville.
So here comes the first pitch to him, and that's in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, all sponsoring the broadcast. 0-1 the count here on Rose. I mean, Sherwood has gotten ahead of everybody, even the person he hit in Hughes. So that 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Ball behind the plate, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, Silas did a good job down there just smothering it down. Don't be surprised if you don't send a runner. Just a simple fact is if he gets thrown out, well, then you got this kid coming up here again with no outs.
And here comes the 1-1, and that's swung on and missed, and the count's 1-2. You do have a big gap in right center because Ryan Owens is hugging the line, and Caden Klaus is shaded to the left of the second base bag.
Playing him to pull just a little.
As here comes the 1-2 from Sherwood. The runner is off on the pitch, and nobody is covering for Seneca. The count's 2-2.
Yeah.
Wilson and Roark were too far away from the bag. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Here comes the 2-2 from Sherwood. That's swung on and missed. You're going to have to throw down to complete the strikeout. But after a hit by pitch, Sherwood strikes out the side. Half inning in the books. Cassville nothing. Seneca coming up.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
Drew Sherwood will lead off the bottom of the first here for Seneca. Sherwood, Wilson, and Ball are the three due up. Ginger, Houchin, and Heffern follow, and then Prater, Owens, and Roark will get the rest of the lineup there for Seneca. For Cassville in the field, in left field is Jaden Castleberry, in center field is Bodie Rose, and in right field is Easton Hughes. Left to right in the infield, Colton Roark at third. At short is Mason Bryan. At second is Jaron Stearns. And at first is Austin Meltebarger as Sherwood takes a called strikes, counts 0-1, with Simon Gates catching Baxton Cornell here this afternoon.
It was a leadoff curveball that curved right in. He had good grip on it.
So 0-1 fastball hits the inside corner in the count. It's quickly 0-2.
That's one thing Drew is not. It's like he's not scared to have two strikes on him.
Here comes the 0-2, and that stays outside. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just because he's got such a good eye and he's patient at the plate.
1-2 the count here on Sherwood. Here comes the 1-2. That breaking ball is yanked foul past assistant coach Dave Sherwood down there.
He didn't even make a play for it. We may have given him an error on that one.
So long, golden glove.
Yeah, he lost his golden glove there.
1-2 the count here on Sherwood. Another 1-2 does not offer at, and they don't check. They are going to check now, and he did not swing, and the count's 2-2.
That was a high heater. He was waiting for it to drop, but it didn't drop. So
2-2 the count now on Sherwood. Comes the 2-2, and that's low, and he has worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Just like you said, Darryl, he's not afraid to have 2 strikes on him.
No, he's one of those kids that he's got a good eye, and he's not scared if he got 2 strikes. He's a good hitter.
Full count offering is high and outside, and it's a leadoff walk as he works it from 0-2 to a walk. And with Sherwood's speed, he could be on second pretty quickly.
Yes.
And it's not just Sherwood's speed, it's Seneca's aggressiveness as well. Seneca very aggressive on the base pass. Obviously, Hagen Ginger the most aggressive, but Sherwood, Wilson, even Houchin and Heffern are very aggressive on the play when they get on.
They're not slouches either.
That ball is yanked to the right side. The first baseman knocks it down, but it kicks to right field, and going to third is Sherwood. It's a single for Jagger, and Sherwood advances to third on the play as well.
Well, the first baseman just tipped it with his glove. that means a slow roller out there to right field, and the right fielder had trouble getting it up. And that's the reason why Sherwood, being aggressive, took off to third base, and that right fielder was in a hurry to try to get it in.
Silas Ball coming to the plate, had a very good day at the plate yesterday, 3 for 4, 2 RBI.
Well, he's got a good chance to get one here.
Gives Seneca the first lead of the afternoon.
Maybe just watching first. Let Jagger get
As he's popping that one in the air, the left fielder comes in and grabs it, and it was too shallow for Sherwood to come in and tag up. And maybe a little too aggressive there for Ball, unless they were thinking hit and run.
Well, I don't think they was thinking hit and run. I think it was just Jagger was off, and he could have let that go by just to let Jagger get there to second and make two of them.
Comes the first pitch to Hagan, and it's high, and in safely at second is Wilson. So a stolen base, and Ginger has 2 RBIs sitting out there. He crushed a triple yesterday.
Well, let's see if he can get a hold of one here. This is his job, batting fourth.
As that 1-0 is over the outside corner, and the count 1-1. 1 out here in the inning. Seneca would love to get one of these runs home. Or one of these batters home. That ball yanked down the left field line, and it is just foul. And the count's 1-2, just too far ahead of it. And the count's 1-2.
Yeah. Now that was just a foot or two, Ben, from being a.
That was at least a double.
That was at least a double.
But 1-2, the count now on Ginger.
See if he can relax. He's got to protect up there.
1-2. He pokes it out to right field, and the right fielder stumbles. He's able to catch the ball. It's an RBI fly out. Good job there by the right fielder, Hughes. He stumbled, Daryl, but he was still able to snag the ball and get the out. But Hagan does do the job he needs to do with the sacrifice fly and get a run in.
Well, the ball's pitched out. He threw a curveball over to the outside part of the plate. And Hagan, like he's doing what he's supposed to do. If it's close, stick your bat out there on it, and that's what he did.
As that first pitch is in the dirt, and the count's 1-0. I was going to say, for a second there, the scoreboard had 2 runs, and I'm like, I guarantee 2 runs did not score on that.
Well, it could have. He's maybe touched the plate twice, Ben. See if Grant can get Jagger in from third.
The 1-0 pitch is up the middle, and there is the second run for Seneca, an RBI single for Houchin. Houchin was one of the few players that kind of struggled a little bit yesterday because he was 0 for 3.
Yes.
But Seneca is seeing Cornell here early. That is their second hit of the inning, and their second run as well as Ian Heffron comes to the plate. Heffron, I think, had 3 RBI yesterday. That pitch is hit on the first hop, and the third baseman can't field it, neither can the shortstop, and the E5 allows everybody to be safe.
Here's that wet turf, Ben. You get a spin off that wet turf, and you're not used to it. This is what happens to you. You got, like I said, the errors on the infield on the ground balls could play a big part of today's game.
Asher Prater will now come to the plate here for Seneca, see if he can extend the misery here for Cassville.
Well, one more wouldn't hurt, Ben, with a base hit.
First pitch hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. As here comes an 0-1 to Prater. That pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count is 0-2. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error so far in the inning. So both Ginger and Houchin have RBIs. Heffron at second, Houchin at second, Heffron at first.
Let's see if Asher can get an RBI here, base hit.
Comes the 0-2, and that's too far outside, and the count now 1-2. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, all sponsoring the broadcast as well. 1-2 the count here on Prater. 1-2 is low, does a good job of holding off and getting it to 2-2. You know Cornell doesn't want this to get to 3-2 because then the runners are off and potentially a single could bring home Heffron.
Yeah, it'd have to be a deep one.
Here comes the 2-2, and that pitch is golfed up in the air. The right fielder, Hughes, is going to come over and snag it for the final out of the inning. For Seneca, 2 runs in the inning on 2 base hits, And there was an error, and they strand 2. We are through 1. Seneca up 2-0.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com. The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshocc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
Seneca 2-0 lead here as we begin the top of the second. Colton Roark comes to the plate. 5-6-7 here for Cassville against Sherwood as he settled in as that first pitch is low and the count's 1-0. Roark, Bryan, and Reed are the 3 due up, but after hitting Easton Hughes on a 1-2 count, he struck out the next 3. That 1-0 is inside and the count's 2-0.
See if we can get down to throwing strikes. Keep his pitch count low.
That pitch hits the inside corner. The count's 2-1. For State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, all sponsoring the broadcast. That pitch is a ball, and the count's 3-1. And this is the first batter that Drew has fallen behind all afternoon. Because even Hughes, who he hit, had a 1-2 count on him. That ball up the middle. Wilson able to field it off the funny hop off the mound and get it for the putout.
Off that mound, it just like skipped it down low. Looked like a rock skipping across the water. Good play by Jagger to come up and make a good throw to Hagan.
1 down now as Mason Bryan will come to the plate here for Cassville. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. A sponsor, KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. That first pitch is swung on and missed by Bryan, so the count's 0-1. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X, KNEO917 Sports. 0-1 the count here on Bryan. That pitch hits the outside corner. Looked like a changeup there, Darryl, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, that was definitely a changeup. It took something off of that one.
As here comes the 0-2 from Sherwood, and they are going for the high heat, and he has it. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Sherwood, and there are 2 down for Miller Reed.
Well, that's how you keep your pitch count low, Ben. Throw strikes.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah. See you next time.
As Reed will come to the plate here for Cassville. That first pitch is yanked foul out of play down that right field line, and the count is 0-1. Like we said, our Seneca broadcast schedule got changed a little bit as here comes the 0-1 pitch from Sherwood. We'll tell you about it after this 0-1. At 0-1 is pulled foul as well, and the count's 0-2. But Seneca no longer has those games on Saturday, still to be determined if they have games on Saturday. And then Wheatland coming here next Tuesday. That pitch just outside. Ginger and Roark headed towards the dugout.
They were going to the dugout.
You know, we kind of have a good look, and it did look like it was outside.
Yeah, it was a touch outside. It was a good miss, let's put it that way.
As here comes the 1-2, and that pitch is hit the opposite way, foul, so the count remains 1-2. So Seneca trying to get some games in. Our Seneca at East Newton, well, we say at East Newton, tomorrow to finish a suspended game. 4:30, we'll have the completion of that one. And that pitch popped in the air, foul. Ginger calling for it in foul territory, but it just sneaks over the Cassville dugout. This count remains 1-2. So we'll have that one, and then next Monday and Tuesday we'll have those broadcasts at CJ Monday and then home Tuesday. No Neosho game this year as Neosho's facing Nixa that Wednesday. 1-2 the count, still remains on Reed, but he's putting up a good battle, and that one hits the inside corner for strike 3. Sherwood down through 2. 2-0 Seneca.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Is it really possible for God to speak to you and me today? Billy Graham said it is.
God has never stopped speaking to man. But how does God speak to men today, you ask? If you want to hear God speak, read the Bible. It contains His will, His plan, and His thought for your life. Secondly, God speaks through the conscience. Your conscience is a hearing aid through which the voice of God is distinctly heard. Thirdly, God speaks through the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the liaison agent between God and man. It is He who invites and urges men to come to God. In gentle whispers, as well as in thunderous warnings, He draws the attention of men to God.
Discover how you can interact with God personally when you begin a relationship with His Son, Jesus Christ. Stop by our website, findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. And it's from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Ryan Owens will lead things off here for Seneca in the second. Owens, Roark, and Sherwood are the 3 up, and Daryl and I were joking in the break there that, you know, Ryan Owens led off, I think, 3 different innings yesterday, too.
And got things going every time. I mean, I think it was 2 for 3 or 2 for 4.
So that first pitch is in there for a strike, so the count is 0-1. Owens yesterday finished 2 for 3. He grounded out his first time, but he led off the third, led off the fifth, and led off the sixth.
Well,
that breaking ball hits the inside corner, and the count's 0-2. But, yeah, those fifth and sixth innings are when Seneca had their big innings, 5 and 3 runs, and he led off the innings those 2 times.
That first hit the mound and ricocheted right to the shortstop. No, Rhino.
As he swings and misses at the slider outside, and there's one down as Roark comes to the plate, and Roark's been swinging a pretty good bat all year here, Daryl, and he's not a bad person with his speed in there, too, to have at the bottom of the lineup to be a table setter for the top.
Yeah, I'd almost bet you right now he could lay down a bunt and get on, and the third baseman is walking up a little.
That first pitch is low, so the count's 1-0.
He's got a good eye, too. He's patient at the plate.
Cornell gets the sign from his catcher, and the 1-0 is swung on and missed, and the count's 1-1. Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC and equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. Here comes the 1-1, and that's fouled back to the backstop, and the count is 1-2.
Swing there, fouled it off.
One out.
I saw the breaking ball coming in. So
one out here in the bottom of the second. Here comes the 1-2. That's swung on, and I think it was foul tipped into the mitt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cornell. He's got 2 on the afternoon, and get back to Drew Sherwood at the top of the order. And Daryl Sherwood had an 0-2 count on him in the first, and eventually drew a walk and came around and scored on Ginger's sac fly.
Well, like I said, he's got a good eye at the plate, and he's patient. But if he sees one he likes, he can turn on it. Big hole out there in right center, too, Ben.
As that first pitch got away from Cornell, counts 1-0. Just sailed on him.
Yeah.
In the rain there. I think both the left and right fielders are kind of hugging the lines a little bit because, like you said, there are some big gaps there.
Left and right center. Got to hit the baseball, hit it on the line.
Here comes the 1-0, and that is low, and the count's 2-0. Wilson had an infield single. He's on deck if you can get that far. Ball in the hole. Here comes the 2-0. That pitch, he was swinging away and fouls it out of play, and the count's 2-1. Not a bad pitch there by Cornell, 2-0.
No, I thought it looked like he thought he could take that to left field. Is that over the left outside part of the plate?
The 2-1 is spoiled foul, and Cornell has worked it to 2-2.
Bet he'd like to have that pitch back. Because that looked like it was just right down the middle.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom 2. 2 runs in for Seneca. A lot of twos.
Twos are wild, Ben.
As here comes the 2-2, and that breaking ball is swung on and missed, and Cornell strikes out the side in the second. 2 done here in Seneca. Seneca up 2-0.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Well, the Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Harvest Ballpark tonight as they begin a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge. That goes through Sunday, May 11th. Ticket information, visit NWANaturals.com. Support of high school baseball here on KNEO, and that game actually was an early morning game. That game started at 11 a.m. between the Naturals and the Wind Surge here today. As it'll be 8-9-1 here for Cassville. Meltebarger, Cornell, and then the top of the order in Hughes for Cassville as the only base runner so far for Cassville is Hughes, who was hit by a pitch as that pitch is foul tipped into the mitt, so the count is 0-1. It looks like the rain's a little more steady here again. Here comes the 0-1. That's low, and the count 1-1. It's just going to be that way probably for a while.
Yeah.
Here comes the 1-1, and That one sails to the screen, and the count's 2-1. So they're going to switch out baseballs here. And Wilson grabbing the rosin bag as well. Here comes the 2-1. That pitch is inside, and the count's 3-1. Everett at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. This might be right around where you said it was kind of the hardest rain of the afternoon.
Yeah.
The 3-1 is inside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk here for Cassville in the third as Buxton Cornell will come to the plate for Cassville.
Yeah, like I said, Drew's having a hard time hanging on to the ball, and since they started this inning, they're going to have to finish it.
As here comes the first pitch to Cornell. That is a good block as the pitch is in the dirt. Counts 1-0.
It's one of those rains where it's just a steady rain, and eventually it just gets everything soaking wet. You got to play with it.
They throw behind the runner, and he's back safely as Meltebarger does not have a huge lead over there.
No, he's not going anywhere. It doesn't look like he has much speed, let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's got maybe a step as that pitch is low, and the count's 2-0. As this inning, Sherwood's trying to find the strike zone.
Yeah, he's trying to, like I said, he's trying to figure out just how to get the ball over the plate. Just, don't throw anything but fastballs.
2-0 pitch is hit on a hop. The runner was off on the play, so the only play is to first, and it's skipped, and Ginger can't grab it. It is an E6 on the play, and runners will be at first and third. The runner was going to have second on the fielder's choice anyways, but now runners are at first and third thanks to the error, and now you're at the top of the order with Easton Hughes.
That's what we talk about, Ben. Fielding the grounders and getting a good grip on it and making a good throw.
See what kind of play is on here. I'm sure Cornell doesn't have a big lead over there at first, and that's if he's running for himself. I didn't see anybody come out of the dugout to run for him. That first pitch is over for a strike, and the count's 0-1. So both teams kind of going through their signs here with a couple men on. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1, and they got the runner picked off. And now they try and get the runner at third, and it is thrown away. And the runner will be scoring at home, and they have the runner at third now on the E3. That's one that you kind of need to charge because they had the runner picked off there.
Like you said, a better throw. A better throw, or if Houchin could have come up with it, or a better throw would have had him out.
0-1 the count remains here on Hughes. Still nobody out.
Yeah.
And that pitch is high. Good job there by Ball of snagging it. 1-1 the count. And they're going to switch baseballs here again. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, ProLube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. He's digging around in his back pocket for something. Maybe a card there with a play call. 1-1 the count. Here comes the 1-1, and that is outside. And the count is 2-1. A walk and an error, 2 errors have allowed 1 run to come in and another runner to be at third with still nobody out. And now you're back at the top of the order as well. So here comes the 2-1 to Hughes. That pitch is high, and the count's 3-1. That was the one that allowed Meltebarger to get to third. He was off on the pitch, but that was kind of a tailor-made double play ball. And Wilson, it was just too slow a roller, and then he couldn't get the throw to first. As that 3-1 is swung on and missed, so the count now 3-2. Seneca is willing to give up that run for an out. As here comes the 3-2 pitch from Sherwood. That pitch is popped up in the air. Owens out there in right field is going to call off Klaus, and there is not a tag at all on the play by Cornell. So the F9 is one out, and that is a big first out for Seneca.
Yeah, I figured that would at least get the run in, but Cassville didn't want to try to attempt it. I guess maybe with nobody out, he figured he could probably get in.
It's also their pitcher running as well, so it may not have a ton of speed over there at third.
Well,
so that first pitch goes to the backstop, but Cornell not a huge lead. And it went straight back to ball because it went off the screen. 1-0 the count here on Stearns. I would not be shocked if after this half inning they take a little bit of time here.
Oh, they'll finish the inning.
It's the 1-0 is hit on a nub, and the count is 1-1.
If you're going to make Drew pitch in it, then you're going to make the Cassville kid pitch in it. That's just like they did at East Newton. They finished the inning, and then they...
1-1 the count here on Stearns. That run that came in is unearned. Here comes the 1-1 from Sherwood. That is low. Good block by Ball, and the count is 2-1. The weather conditions that we have, Darryl, how tough a catch was that for Ryan Owens out in right center?
Well, you're looking straight up into the rain as well. You know, you're blinking and everything, so yeah.
So the 2-1 pitch is high, maybe outside, and the count now 3-1. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, and Prairie Top Chiropractic, all sponsoring the broadcast. As here comes the 3-1. That's low for ball 4. So a one-out walk, and Simon Gates will come to the plate. Just trying to keep the baseballs dry as much as possible.
They're trying. You know, it's just tough.
And again, runners at first and third, so we'll see if Stearns
there could be
is off at some point. As here comes the first pitch from Sherwood. That's low, so the count's 1-0. A lengthy inning here for Sherwood.
Yeah, it's trouble if you can't. I guarantee you the ball's wet, and he's having a hard time. He's having a hard time just throwing a fastball over the plate.
So here comes the 1-0. They have the runner picked off. Nice skip there, and now they're going to come home on the play, and the runner is out at the plate. It goes 1-6-2 on the putout, and there are 2 down here as Stearns is at second. That was a nice pick by...
It was Jagger Wilson.
No, it was a nice pick by Ginger at first.
Yeah, and he had to dig it out of the turf.
And then Wilson also had to do that a little bit as well. 1-0 the count here on Gates. That's a big second out. That pitch is high, and the count's 2-0.
Well, yeah, he threw it down there to Jagger for the tag, but Jagger saw the kid from third take off and then threw a strike to Silas Ball and got the tag down.
2-0 the count. Here comes the 2-0. Long look in by Sherwood. The 2-0 is in the dirt, and the count's 3-0. Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals all sponsoring the broadcast. 3-0 the count here on Gates. The 3-0 is over for a strike. He counts 3-1. Gates taking the entire way. Would not be shocked if he's taking 3-1.
Yeah, he's just going to have to take something off of it, get it over the plate.
Comes the 3-1, and that's low for ball 4. So runners are at first and second. 2 down for Bodie Rose. As they are trying to switch out baseballs as much as humanly possible.
It's tough. Drew's pitching here in the toughest part of the rain.
As here comes the first pitch from Sherwood. That fastball is high, and the count is 1-0. A walk, 2 errors, fly out, walk, walk. Here comes the 1-0. And that's inside and almost hit Rose, and the count is 2-0. I wouldn't say it's a hard rain, but it's a steady rain at this point. So here comes the 2-0 from Sherwood. That's in there for a strike. It's the top of the zone, and the count's 2-1. 2 outs here in the inning. As here comes the 2-1. That pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. See if Sherwood can get out of this inning. Here comes the 2-2. That pitch is nubbed down the first base line. It's going to stay fair, and Ginger is going to tag the bag to end the inning. For Cassville, 1 run in the inning, no hits. There were 2 errors, and they strand 2. 2.5 in the books. It's 2-1 Seneca.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians.
Jagger Wilson to lead off the inning here for Seneca. 2, 3, and 4. See if Seneca can get that run back here, as it'll be Wilson, Ball, and Ginger coming to the plate.
After all that last night, or that last inning, and just giving up 1 run, Ben, that was huge.
And no hits for Cassville in that inning either.
Trying to light up just a little bit, according to the radar here. And Drew had to pitch right in the heaviest part.
Here comes the first pitch, and Wilson yanks that one foul. Counts 0-1. Infield single his first time up.
Yeah, I hit it in the gap, deep in the hole. Third base and shortstop couldn't get a hold of it.
No, it was the first baseman.
Oh, that's right. Off the first baseman's glove. I'm thinking.
That pitch sails to the backstop, and the count's 1-1.
There's that curveball that you can't grip.
Count 1 ball and 1 strike here. And like you said, Darryl, it it's a steady rain, but it seems like it's a little bit lighter than even 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
As here comes the 1-1 to Wilson. That pitch stays outside, and the count 2-1. Seneca scored 2 runs on 2 hits in the first. They were retired 1, 2, 3 in the second. Here comes the 2-1. That pitch is fouled behind us, and the count 2-2. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 2-2 the count here on Wilson. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. The 2-2 is in the dirt, and the count 3-2. I don't think I'm ever not going to say dirt, even though it's...
even though it's turf, brown.
The brown stuff.
The brown stuff? No,
doesn't sound as good.
It's just the dirt.
3-2 the count here on Wilson. And that pitch is low for ball 4. Leadoff walk here for Wilson as ball comes to the plate. He flew out to left field his first time up. See if ball is a little more patient here and tries to give him a pitch or two to get to second.
Yeah, he was a little bit anxious to jump on that first pitch when Jagger was off the base.
So ball to the plate. Like we said, he was 3 for 4 yesterday with 2 RBI.
Let's see if you can't give Jagger a chance to get to second base. He's there. He walks out just a big enough lead to go. There he goes.
And he is off, and the pitch was in the dirt. Now, it's not a terrible throw by the catcher there with the ball in the dirt and everything. Stolen base, though, for Wilson.
Yeah, he just threw it on the wrong side of the bag. But still, with a wet ball.
Yeah.
It was a good throw.
1-0 the count here on ball, so Seneca has a runner in scoring position trying to get that run back.
Get some hits going, Ben.
And now Ball going to try and bunt his way on, and nobody was covering first, and now the pitcher throws it away because of the mismanaged play by Cassville. It's kind of a sacrifice to get him to third, but then the E1 allows Wilson to come in and score and have Ball at second.
Well, the first baseman charging because he squared the bunt, and the second baseman has to cover. He got there a little bit late, but I think looked like the pitcher had to what do you want to call it?
Regather.
Yeah, regather himself to throw, and it wasn't natural. It wasn't a natural throw.
So Ball now at second for Ginger, who has an RBI fly out to his credit.
Well, let's see if we can get a base hit here and get another run in.
So here comes the first pitch from Cornell, and it's behind Ginger, and taking third on the play is Ball. A wild pitch. So like we said, both these pitchers are fighting the elements right now.
Yeah. I mean, Drew had to go through it last inning in the heaviest part of it. And it looks like
we say that, but it looks like it's a nice steady rain again.
Yeah, it's just a steady.
It's the 1-0 hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. But you need this game to go 3.5, so you need Cassville to bat one more time for this game to be official. So 1-1 pitch is popped up in the air, and that is not deep enough by any means for Ball to go anywhere, as Ginger pops out to shortstop, and there's one down.
Just got underneath it.
As Houchin will come to the plate. Houchin singled in a run his last plate appearance. Another opportunity here for him.
Would like to have another run in here, Ben. We got him here at third base, nobody out.
Houchin swings and fouls that one off, so the count is 0-1. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, all sponsoring the broadcast. 0-1 the count here on Houchin. One out here in the bottom of the third. 0-1 is low. Counts 1-1. Saw earlier Heffron was warming up in the bullpen, so I'll see if/when he might come in.
Yeah, him getting some throws in.
1-1 the count here on Houchin. A 1-1 is over the outside corner, taking the entire way. And the count 1-2. And Darryl didn't mention it in the pregame show just because of everything going on, but it is senior night here for Seneca as well.
Yes, it
so
is.
I think that's another reason why they're trying to get this one in as well. It's the 1-2, breaking ball. Able to get a piece is Houchin and keep himself alive. Looked like a pretty good slider there.
He had some movement on that. Even, gripping a wet baseball is tough. We've seen it a couple times. Normally these guys are not going to throw it over everybody's head into the screen, but they've done it a few times.
1-2 the count here on Houchin. That's a breaking ball that didn't break, and the count's 2-2.
Yeah, that come out of his hand, and
you jinxed him.
Yeah.
Though that wasn't a fastball, so the catcher Gates was able to get it. Here comes the 2-2. And that is low. And the count's full at 3-2. Both pitchers having to fight through the elements here in Seneca. As here comes the full count pitch. And that is just outside for ball 4. A 1-out walk as Heffron comes to the plate. He reached on a error by the third baseman his last time. Fourth State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, the Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, all sponsoring the broadcast. And the Northwest Arkansas Naturals are at home at Alvarez Ballpark through Sunday, May 11th in a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge. For ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com. Support of high school baseball on KNEO, and the Naturals beat Wichita today 6-5.
Grant with a big lead out there at first base, Ben.
And they have him picked off.
He's trying to get into a rundown.
And they are going to get him in the rundown, and now they're just going to worry about getting him out.
They
called him out. The run does score on the play as ball comes in and scores. And I think the shortstop there realized the only play they had was at first. And so they were going to get the out at first. So I think that goes as that pitch to Heffron is in there for a strike. So count's 0-1. But I think that goes 1-3-6-3 on the putout.
I'm not sure he was out, Ben. I have to watch the film on that.
As here comes the 0-1, and that's swung on and missed. Counts 0-2, but they do get those runs in, Darryl, and both those runs are unearned.
Yeah.
So the count 0-2 here on Heffron. Comes the 0-2, and that's outside, trying to see if he would chase. And the count is 1-2. But that run does come in and score. 1-2 the count here. Here comes the 1-2. And that is in the dirt, and the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. For this to be a full game, you have to get 3.5, or to be considered a game, you need 3.5.
2 outs, bottom of the 2+1 inning.
So that pitch is high for a ball, and the count's full on Ian Heffron.
With a score 2 squared plus to 1. Ben, we get a lot of 2s in here if we work at it.
Count now full here on Heffron.
Come on, Ian.
Comes the 3-2, and that is outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks. I know Houchin got picked off, but a 2-out base runner now for Prater, who flew out to right field his first time.
Well, Houchin trying to get picked off or trying to get in a rundown. But
and he did get in a rundown.
He got in a rundown and let Silas get a chance to score. Let's see if they – I don't know if Ian might have the speed to get there. He may challenge him.
It's the first pitch to Prater is high for a ball, and the count is 1-0.
You may not be trying to let Prater bat.
The 1-0 hits the outside corner, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike.
He likes to hit the outside corner. Then he likes to come with that breaking ball curving off of it. The sweeper, I guess, is what you want to call it.
Here comes the 1-1, and that looked like a fastball, and the count's 1-2. 2 outs here in the inning. Seneca 2 runs in here so far. They do say there's supposedly a break in the rain in 50 minutes. But see if, I mean, they've been fighting through it so far as that pitch is outside, and there's your sweeper that you were talking about, and Prater did a good job of holding off to make it 2-2.
Yeah, that's what he likes to throw. He likes to throw the outside pitch, and then he likes to throw that breaking ball off of it.
2-2 the count here on Prater. That 2-2 is high, and now Heffron will be off on the pitch as the count's full at 3-2. This point, I mean, if I was both pitchers, I'd say let's just fight through this because we've already fought through the rain as much as we're going to. We'll have to wait and see what happens after this half inning. Full count offering, and that pitch is a towering foul ball behind us. Count remains 3-2. It almost looks, it's hard to tell from our vantage point how hard it's raining. Sometimes it looks like it's lightening up, other times it doesn't.
Well, yeah.
The count's full here on Prater. So Heffron will be off on the pitch again. And they throw back behind Heffron, trying to keep him honest.
Yeah, Ian's not off the base very far. So he knows he's going to get it. You know, if Asher can hit it, he knows he's got to have a head start on it.
Here comes the full count pitch, and that's swung on and missed for strike 3. That will end the inning for Seneca. They do get 2 runs in the third inning, courtesy of no base hits. There were 2 errors, and they strand 1. 3 in the books. It is 4-1 Seneca.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is Your Touchstone Energy Partner.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Colton Roark fouls off the first pitch here, 5-6-7 for Cassville here in the inning. Roark grounded out to shortstop his first time up as he does not offer at that one, and the count is 1-1. Cassville 3 errors in the game, Seneca in the 2. They both had 2 errors there in the third, Darrell, as that pitch is yanked through the left side for a single for Roark, and that is actually the first hit of the game by Cassville.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't do anything about that. He just found the hole. Jagger made a good chance at it, just diving at it, trying to stop it. But, I mean, it would still been a single. He wouldn't been able to throw him out.
As Mason Bryan comes to the plate here for Cassville.
But it's what you got to do. Is in this games like this, you just throw strikes and live with it. And you got to be able to make plays behind them. Throw strikes and make Cassville have to beat you. And he's not going anywhere. He's 3 feet off the base.
So the first pitch is hit down that right field line, just foul. I mean, Hagan is hugging the line about as much as you can, and it still got by him.
He's holding the guy on first. It would have been nice if it's just inside the line. Hagan would have come up with it and stepped on the bag and threw down the second.
0-1 the count here on Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, we're wearing headsets, but I can't hear the rain like I did a while ago.
As here comes the 0-1 from Sherwood. That's over the outside corner, and the count's 0-2. Sherwood's had to work around 2 errors and the rain, he allowed 3 walks in the third, but only gave up 1 run.
Yeah, it was easy to have errors out here today with a wet ball and a wet field.
They throw back behind the runner, and Roark kind of dived back, but he really doesn't have to dive to get back to the bag.
No, they are not more than 4 feet off the base.
As here comes another 0-2 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. There's 1 down as Miller Reed will come to the plate. That is the 6th strikeout of the game for Sherwood.
Yeah, that first couple of innings, he struck him out. Third inning is when he struggled. Of course, the third inning is when it was raining pretty hard.
As Miller Reed comes to the plate, he struck out looking his first time up. Runner is off on the pitch. Pitch is low for a ball, and in safely on the play is Roark, but that was a pretty good throw by ball on a pitch in the dirt.
Oh, and not a good pitch to pick him off with either, yeah. I mean, Drew didn't do him any favors by throwing it in the dirt, and Silas did come up and make a pretty good throw.
1-0 the count here on Reed. Here comes the 1-0, and that is inside, maybe low as well, and the count is 2-0. To keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule, be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X, KNEO 917 Sports. Here comes the 2-0. That's high. Counts 3-0. Sherwood going to have to battle here. Almost looks like it's just kind of misting right now.
Yeah, there's not much out there.
Comes the 3-0, and that is inside for ball 4. A 1-out walk, and runners are at first and second now for Austin Meltebarger.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight through the errors, but there's one thing you can't fight through, or your teammates can't help you with, is if you walk them.
Meltebarger walked in the third, eventually came around and scored on a couple of throwing errors. Here comes the first pitch from Sherwood. That pitch is fouled, and the count's 0-1. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. Sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. 0-1 the count here on Meltebarger. Love to get the bottom of the lineup out here before you get back to the top of the order.
Mm-hmm. 1 out. We need to get 2 more right here.
0-1 the count here on Meltebarger. Here comes the 0-1. That pitch is foul tipped into the mitt, and the count's 0-2. Sherwood looks for the sign from ball. And Meltebarger calls time. I bet he had to tell teachers how to pronounce his name all year long. Here comes the 0-2, and that hits the inside corner for strike 3. And there are 2 down now for Baxton Cornell.
Good strikeout there.
And that is strikeout number 7 for Sherwood.
Yeah, the kid was hugging the plate pretty hard. And he looked like he's trying to back up, but it caught the corner.
Comes the first pitch. That hits the outside corner. So counts 0-1. Cornell reached on an error and then got to third on a different error. And he got thrown out at home. As here comes the 0-1 from Sherwood. Popped foul out of play, and the count quickly 0-2. And Darryl, I think we may have gotten through the worst of this rain.
I hope so. I hope it's a light rain and finally just slips on out of here.
0-2 the count. Here comes the 0-2 from Sherwood, and that is just low. Nobody moved that time, so maybe they thought it was low too.
I think Sherwood took a step toward the dugout.
None of the infielders moved. 1-2 the count here on Cornell. So here comes the 1-2 offering. That swung on and missed for strike 3. And that will end the inning for Cassville. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. 3.5 in the book. Seneca up 4-1.
KNEA would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do. And for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. And if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Unless they got a pitch count. Oh, we welcome you back as Seneca will send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate, as it'll be Ryan Owens, Braden Roark, and then Drew Sherwood here in the bottom of the 4th. And Daryl, I guess the good news is here is, I mean, the rain looks like it's heading out of here, but regardless is, if it's rain shortened, this is an official game at this point because they got 3.5 innings done.
Yeah. And Rhino's, he's our leadoff hitter.
So first pitch to Owens is hit on a couple hops.
It's
a short hop to second. It's a tough play, and they get him out by half a step. A 4-3 put out, and there's one down. And like we said, with the rain and everything, it had a little bit of funny English there, and Owens made it a lot closer than it probably could have been. There's one down now for Roark.
Well, I knew when he hit it to second base, he got past the pitcher, and I knew it was going to be trouble.
Just not quite trouble enough.
Yep.
So Roark comes to the plate here for Seneca. Comes the first pitch to him, and it hits him. It's one way to get on. A hit by pitch, and now see if you can get the table setter as he got on and was trying to table set here for Drew Sherwood. Sherwood is 0 for 1, struck out in the second, walked and scored in the first.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the top of the lineup going here.
Wilson has actually reached base both times, once on a single and once on a walk. So that pitch is high for a ball, and the count is 1-0.
Let's see if Drew can turn on and get it going here.
1-0 the count here on Sherwood.
66.
Here comes the 1-0. That pitch gets by the catcher, and taking second without a throw there is Roark.
So we got him in scoring position. See if we can't get him in a 2-0 count.
The top of the lineup is out there for Seneca too, so
yep.
Get some more insurance runs in if you're the Indians. The only inning so far they haven't scored is the second, which is kind of ironic because they had 2 runs in the first and 2 in the third. As that pitch is high for a ball, and the count's 3-0. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast. 3-0 the count here on Sherwood. Here comes the 3-0, and that hits the inside. I was about to say that hits the inside corner, but it missed the inside corner.
It was close. It could have gone either way. I think the pitcher thought he threw a strike.
Counts as now Jagger Wilson comes to the plate. Wilson has singled and walked, scored both times. And without holding Sherwood on, Sherwood can have a bigger lead as Wilson trying to bunt him over. Maybe bunting for a hit here, and he bunts a foul, and the count's 0-1.
Well, the third baseman is playing back just because of Roark on second. So the pitcher has to cover. Your right-handed pitcher, you're usually falling off toward the left, to your left, which would be the right side of the mound. And he was trying to lay it down to left field, or trying to lay it down third base line.
0-1 the count. Wilson not squaring this time, and that breaking ball stays outside. This counts 1-1.
Ironically, he got underneath the bunt.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the fourth here for Seneca. Comes the 1-1 to Wilson. That pitch gets by the catcher, and now both runners will be at second and third.
Don't have to worry about trying to bunt now.
Still less than 2 outs here. 2-1 the count here on Wilson. And this is the lightest rain we've seen all day, so it's kind of ironic the struggles that Cornell is now having.
Yeah, I'm actually having to take my headset off just to listen to see if it is raining. It's pretty light right now.
2-1 the count here on Wilson, and now you got 2 ducks out there, and that ball gets by. And now you have Roark picked off potentially as he's in a rundown, and they are able to get him at third base. Wilson, or that's Sherwood, back to second. And that's the problem with the 3-0 and the ball hitting the screen like that. If you're going to commit, you have to go. But that goes 2-1. So that went 2-1, 5-2-5, I think. Actually, I don't think that. I think it went 2-1, 5-1-5. That ball gets by the catcher for ball 4. And actually taking third on the play on the wild pitch is Sherwood. So runners are at first and third for Seneca and Silas Ball.
And here they apparently there was nobody that called time.
They did call time because they're sending Wilson back.
All right. Well, the catcher threw it down
because they were wanting to change baseballs, and we may see a pitching change here as Cornell is struggling here in the fourth.
Well, you know as well as I do, Ben, the high pitches will come right off that. If it doesn't hit anything, they're going to come right off this backstop, right back to you. And Braden Roark's got to know that. He's seen it enough, and he just committed a little bit too early.
And we'll keep it here until we see anything because the head coach, Simon Beeson, has the ball, but he has not switched pitchers yet.
Maybe he's just talking, maybe make sure that they're all on the same page of who's supposed to be doing what.
His runners are at first and third, and yes, they are staying with Cornell here for the moment. Runners at first and third with 2 outs now for Ball. Ball 0 for 2. He reached it on an error in the third and came around and scored. He's also flown out to left. With the way Cornell is throwing it, Daryl, do you make Ball take a strike?
Oh, I know I would. Yes, I would send Jagger. And maybe that's what they're trying to do or figured out what to do. And Jagger just walking off. They're wanting to get another run in. They'll give up and out. Well, there's 2 outs.
And that's why they did that as the run comes in and scores. So it's a stolen base that allows that run to come in and score. And that's why they do that, Daryl. And, you remember in the district championship year in 2021, they did that a ton.
Yeah.
So now a runner at second for Ball, so another run out there for Seneca. As here comes the first pitch, and that's outside, and the count's 1-0.
See if Silas can get a hit, get on base, or get a hit. Get through all the way back to Rhino so he can lead off the next inning.
1-0 the count here on Ball.
That's Ryan Owens, excuse me.
So 1-0 is kind of a swinging bunt, and it goes foul, and the count's 1-1. 2 outs here in the inning. Wilson at second. I think the wind's picked up a little bit as well.
Well, the rain's moving through and the backside, and the wind's picking up a little bit.
1-1 the count here on ball. Comes the 1-1 from Cornell. That is foul tipped into the mitt, and the count's 1-2. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Dickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, all sponsoring the broadcast. Comes the 1-2, and that gets by the pitcher, and taking third on the play is Wilson. So the wild pitch allows Wilson to get to third, and a 2-2 count here on ball. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Wilson sitting there at third. Comes the 2-2. And that is high, and the count's full, 3-2. And this may be Cornell's last batter, the way he is throwing here. Hit by pitch and 2 walks have allowed a run to come in. Here comes the 3-2, and that's high for ball 4. So runners are at first and third, and don't be surprised if ball does exactly what Wilson did last time, and you're going to see a courtesy runner, Darryl, and I believe that's Ryder Owens.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
For ball.
I don't see any movement out of the Cassville dugout just yet. So I think he's staying in. Well, they're all looking. Pitcher's looking, the catcher's looking. Oh, looking at the signal for the 1-3. But I don't know. I don't know if you want to get Ryder in a rundown, because if he gets tagged before the plate
comes in.
Yeah, before he scores, and he's out.
I mean, he has a very healthy lead over there at first. Ball in the dirt, and coming home is going to be Wilson, and he is very aggressive and comes in and scores.
Yeah, he's quick down the line.
So a runner at second now for Ginger. And that is, I believe, the 4th wild pitch of the inning for Cornell.
I'll see if you can get a base hit and get him in.
As things have kind of unraveled for Cassville here these last couple of innings. 2 more runs have come in without a base hit, as that pitch is high and outside, and the count's 2-0. Seneca scored 2 runs in the third, courtesy of 3 walks and an error. And here in the fourth, they've scored 2 more, courtesy of a hit by pitch and 3 walks. That pitch is a ball, and the count's 3-0. And you know Ginger will be taking here.
Don't be surprised.
Because Cornell has not been able to prove that he can throw a strike.
He's down the middle.
Well,
oh, my. And he swung at ball 4. Get out. No.
And it does. It is.
Lucky.
Foul ball makes it 3-1 the count, and actually hits the canopy just to
over here,
our left.
Well, here's the thing. If it was down the middle, I don't blame him swinging. But it's up there at his shoulders. Yeah, he shouldn't have swung at that one.
3-1 the count now. Comes the 3-1, and that ball's in the dirt for ball 4. So runners are at first and second for Houchin. And Houchin is 1 for 1 with a walk, and here comes your pitching change. Take a timeout, come back with who the change will be after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Indians!
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Jaron Stearns will come in and pitch here for Cassville. Cornell is responsible for the runners at first and second, but 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned. The big difference, 8 walks and 4 strikeouts.
It's, like I said, it's a rain-soaked baseballs and trying to get a hold of them and trying to find the pitch count. Throwing strikes and making plays behind them, that's the key for the night.
And he walked his final 4 batters as that first pitch hits the outside corner on Houchin. Counts 0-1. Houchin 1 for 1. He singled in a run in the first. He also walked.
I'm ready for another single right here.
Stearns came in from second, and your DH came in to play second as that wild pitch allows runners to get to second and third now. So they have uncorked a lot of wild pitches in this inning as well. That's at least 5.
Be nice if just Grant would get a hold of one right here.
1-1 the count here on Houchin. 2 outs in the inning. That pitch is nubbed foul, and the count 1-2. Cornell is responsible for the runners out there on second and third, so could have as many as 8 runs given up. So his line is not quite complete. He's given up 6 runs so far. So here comes the 1-2, and that's just outside, and the count is 2-2. This game has kind of slowed to a crawl thanks to all the walks. 4 straight walks by the Indians here in the 4th. 2-2 the count. Here comes the 2-2. And that is just inside, maybe high as well, and Houchin has worked it full. Heffron on deck, if you can get that far. Comes the 3-2 from Stearns. That pitch is golfed foul out of play. Count remains 3-2. Nowhere for Ginger or Owens to run. Another full count here for Stearns and Houchin. And that pitch is popped in the air, foul. And
going again, same place.
Houchin making him work here.
Everybody's oohing and on because it's going in the parking lot.
Well, our cars are too far away for it to hit either of ours.
Don't say that, Ben. Stranger things have happened.
3-2, the count remains here on Houchin. Another 3-2. That pitch is spoiled foul. At some point, if you're Stearns, do you go, what do I have to do to get this guy out? I mean, Houchin's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah. He's just under. I sure wish he would throw it. I sure wish he'd swing about 2 inches higher.
Base hit would score 2 and make it 8-1. Because
Yeah.
you know Hagan is not going to see a stop sign.
No. Hagan didn't know what a stop sign is.
Comes another 3-2, and that stays inside for ball 4. So the bases are now loaded full of Indians for Ian Heffron.
Where's that timely hit, Ben?
Well, he had a timely hit a couple of games ago, brought in 2 against Aurora with the bases loaded.
Yeah, I think he can do the same thing here.
People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast. Heffron has reached twice, once on an error, once on a walk, as that pitch hits the outside corner. Counts 0-1. Senior night activities to follow this one. Honor the seniors on this year's squad. Here comes the 0-1, and that is outside. Good job there by the catcher, Gates, to block it.
Yeah, you did a good job backhanding that one.
He has been busy here in the 4th.
It's tough when a rain game like this and the pitcher can't grip it right and he's throwing it all over.
It's the 1-1, hits the inside corner, and the count's 1-2. Heffron needs to battle now.
Stick a bat on the ball, make things happen, Ian.
1-2 the count. Comes the 1-2. And that pitch is popped foul to the screen. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. They're going to switch baseballs again.
Yeah, well, it ain't the rain this time. Anytime the ball gets on that turf. Good job, Ian, battling up there. It was close. Swing at it. Foul it off.
Count remains 1-2. Here comes another 1-2. That is outside, trying to see if he would chase, and he does not. So he's worked it to 2-2. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, all sponsoring the broadcast. So here comes the 2-2. That pitch is golfed in the air to left field. It's going to fall for a hit. 1 run going to come in and score. They're not going to cut it off, and that's an excellent throw by the left fielder as they were sending Ginger the entire way. It's an RBI single for Ian Heffron, but it goes down as a 7-2 putout to end the inning. For Seneca in the inning, 3 runs on a 1 base hit. There were no errors, and they strand 2. 4 in the book. Seneca up 7-1.
The staff at Mid-America Specialty Markets, along with Jamie and Terry Langford, are proud to serve our community and support the local high school students in their extracurricular activities this school year. Langford Insurance specializes in life, agribusiness, commercial, and personal insurance needs. Please stop by and see us at our office at 908 Washington Avenue, or call us at 417-776-LIFE, or visit us at midaminsurance.com.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you are growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
Top of the 5th here. Seneca is up 7-1, and it's the top of the order for Cassville. Easton Hughes, Jaron Stearns, and Simon Gates as Sherwood begins his 5th inning of work. That first pitch is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. See if Sherwood can get through this 5th inning and then see if Heffron might have to play the pitch the 6th and or 7th. As here comes the 0-1. That's swung on and missed, went off speed again. count is 0-2. And that pitch is hit to Wilson at short. Fields it backhand, throws in plenty of time. And there is one down here. Jaron Stearns will come to the plate. Stearns walked in the third, but was stranded at second. For State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, sponsoring the broadcast. That first pitch is swung on and missed for strike one.
You look like Drew's settling down. No rain. He's throwing more strikes now. There you go.
That pitch is over for a strike, and the count is 0-2. As here comes the 0-2 offering. That's swung on and missed for strike three. And he actually probably will get to start the sixth. He had less pitches than I could do math on. Messed up my mental math.
Oh, well.
But two down here for Simon Gates, who has struck out and walked. So that first pitch is high and inside, so the count's 1-0.
Well, let's see if we can get this one out first before we start thinking about it.
As here comes the 1-0. That pitch is swung on and missed. It looks like he's gone off speed here. Change up, and the Cassville hitters are ahead of it. As here comes the 1-1. That stays high, and the count 2-1.
He's tried to throw two curveballs, and he can't get him to break. So I don't know if the ball was still a little bit wet, a little bit damp out there.
Comes the 2-1. That fastball misses the inside corner, and the count's 3-1.
Like I said, throw strikes, make him have to do something.
Long look in by Sherwood. Now here comes the 3-1. That is outside for ball four. 2-out walk as Bodie Rose will come to the plate. Rose 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. We have a pinch runner, and I think that's 18. No, it can't be 18, so I don't know what runner.
I thought it was 12, but I don't know. Ben Hagen's in the way, but
if it's 12, that's Tyler. It might be 10, which is Chase Ruark. They almost have him picked off, and he's not very far away from the bag.
He threw it on the wrong side of Hagen. If he'd have thrown it on the lead side, I think they had him.
And he did not have a big lead by any stretch of the imagination either.
Drew just scared him to death.
That first pitch is fouled off by Rose, so the count's 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. These two teams battling here this afternoon on Senior Day in Seneca. Comes the 0-1. That is in the dirt. Good block by Ball. And the count's 1-1. Actually, Darryl, that's a courtesy runner because Gates is the catcher, so it's not a pinch runner.
All right.
Courtesy runner. Got to make sure I get that right.
Yeah. I didn't know I didn't know it was the catcher.
I wasn't paying attention until just this moment. So 1-1 the count here on Rose. Comes the 1-1. That pitch is hit on a couple hops to third. I believe that's Houchin over there at third to snag it for the putout, and that'll end the inning for Cassville. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left. 4.5 in the books. 7-1 Seneca.
A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is
Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
It is the bottom of the 5th here as Seneca will send 7, 8, 9 to the plate. And Asher Prater, Ryan Owens, and Braden Roark. Anybody reaches, you get back to the top of the order. And Drew Sherwood as Seneca has 7 runs here in the game. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. And a lot of those runs are courtesy of errors and walks because they only have 3 hits in the game and have a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough out there for a while in this rain. Like I said, Ben, is the fielding, the infielders, and the ball's wet. Can you make a good throw? Cassville threw it away a few times, and errors cost him.
Yeah, Cassville 3 errors so far. Seneca with 2 of their own.
Yeah.
As here comes the first pitch to Prater. That hits the inside corner. Counts 0-1. Prater, Owens, and Roark, the 3 scheduled hitters for Seneca here as Stearns begins his first full inning of work. Comes the 0-1. That pitch stays up, and the count's 1-1. Prater flew out to right, and the first struck out swinging in the third. Here comes the 2-1. It should be 1-1, and now count should be 1-2. That's what I thought. I was correct. The count is 1-2. 1-2 the count here on Prater. Here comes the 1-2 from Stearns. That breaking ball hit on a couple hops. Nice backhand play by the second baseman. Throws to first in time for the put-out, and there's 1 down. And that second baseman was the DH to start the game, and Miller Reed. So he did a good job making that play to get the first out. Ryan Owens comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2.
Well, Ryan's usually, our leadoff hitter. I don't know why it comes that way, but it's been that way in the last 2 games.
So here comes the first pitch to him, and that's swung on and foul tipped. Counts 0-1. Evan at the Neosho Daily News wishes the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. And Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch, 1102 South Cherokee, for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. So that pitch, it actually hits the bat. It's a fair ball, and the pitcher throws it away, and he will be at first base.
What in the world, man? Holy cow, the pitch was behind his head. Ryan's ducking, and it hits the bat up there. Perfect bunt, but he didn't know it, and then the pitcher throws the ball away. He didn't get to go, and I think the right fielder come in and backed it up. But I believe that's the first time I've seen this, Ben. I've seen it on film, but I think that's the first time I've ever seen it live.
There have been 2 weird plays the last 2 days here, so I wonder what we're in store with tomorrow.
Oh, Ryan's way off to a big lead.
That first pitch is in there for a strike on Roark, so the count's 0-1. Hit by a pitch in the fourth. He got caught in a rundown. He's also struck out. 0-1 the count here. Comes the 0-1. That's swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. And like you said, Owen's a healthy lead over there at first base.
Yeah. If you're not running, I wonder why you're off that far. But I don't know about this kid's pickoff move, but Ryan's tested him.
So the 0-2 stays outside, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom 5 here in Seneca. Seneca up 7-1. 7 runs, 3 hits for the Indians. For Cassville, they have 1 run on 1 hit. Ball up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop. Can't get it out of his glove, though. And it's an infield single for Roark. If he's able to get it out of his glove, it's at least probably an out at second, but an excellent diving effort there at shortstop by Brian.
He did a great job just diving for that ball up the middle just to get a glove on it. And like you said, Ben, he was rolling around out there. I don't think he could get it out of his glove and get it to second base on time. But it was a heck of an effort.
Sherwood comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1, but he's walked twice. So an infield single for Roark. I don't think you can give an error on the play there. I think.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, it was a great job just to get his glove on it.
So here comes the first pitch to Sherwood, and that hits the outside corner, so the count's 0-1. Sherwood 2 walks and 2 runs scored. He's also struck out. Top 2 have scored 5 of the 7 runs for Seneca. So Wilson scored all 3 times he's been up. Yep. Here comes the 0-1, and that pitch is hit to second, and it's bobbled by the second baseman, and the bases will be loaded for Jagger Wilson as took a funny hop on the second baseman there, and everybody's safe.
That crawled up on him, just handcuffed him. And like I said, it was tough. Call that an error, but I can't call the one before that an error, but I would call that one an error.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fielder's choice to get the runners to second and third because they're scoring they're advancing regardless. Right. But now the base is loaded for Wilson, who has singled, and he's also walked twice as that first pitch is fouled off. So the count is 0-1. But you look at it, I mean, at least 2 of the runs are unearned. The runner at second theoretically is earned. And did he break his bat? He's switching bats.
Yeah, he's switching bats. I don't know.
And that may be a Coach Use thing, is telling him he needs to switch bats.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Cassville infield is playing in because if they give up 4 runs, the game ends in 5. That 0-1 is low, and the count is 1-1.
Good hard hit shot, gets by the infield. It's pretty easy now.
Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO 917 Sports. They're going to come home, and he tried to get it, and it's thrown in the dirt, and the run comes in and scores on the E5.
Yeah, they had him. Good hard hit shot, shot to third base, and third baseman had him and plenty of time to get to the catcher. But like you said, the throw was wild. They're in a hurry. The field is still probably wet. The turf is still wet. So you don't know if that comes in any play. Yeah, it has something to do with it. I told you those grounders and coming up and being able to throw the ball correctly is going to be huge in this game.
A thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. Sponsor of KNEO Radio, and the Seneca Indians and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals are at home at Arvis Ballpark as they have a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge. That goes through Sunday, May 11th. Ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com. Sport of high school baseball here on KNEO. A double would end the game as that first pitch is low and outside. So counts 0-1. Ball is 0 for 2. Flew out to left in the first, reached on an error and scored in the third, and walked and scored in the fourth. A double would score Wilson with his speed, and that would end the game as that ball is popped up in the air.
That's trouble.
But that is going to fall for an infield single, and everybody's going to be safe. If the second baseman is playing back like he normally would, that's just a pop-up, but because everybody is playing in, you can't do anything with it. And now a senior and Ginger can end the game as Ryder Owens will be at first, and only the runner at second is the one that matters in the game ending.
We can get Hagen to hit a base hit. We're done. Come on, Hagen.
Ryder Owens' run does not matter at this point. Jaggers is the one that does. That one is hit to third, but it's foul, and the count is 0-1. Ginger 0 for 2. He has flown out and popped out. He's also walked. Does have an RBI on the day, but he is stuck at 33 stolen bases and won't get past that more than likely.
He just hit it hard.
So here comes the 0-1. That hits the inside corner, and the count's 0-2. Now it needs to protect with 2 strikes. Houchin on deck for the Indians, another senior. Comes the 0-2, and that's high. And the count's 1-2. Sherwood at third. Jagger Wilson, the game-ending run at second. As here comes a 1-2, and that pitch is in the dirt, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count here on Ginger. Walk is an RBI as well.
Well, I'd rather have a base hit and end it right here, Ben.
So here comes the 2-2, and that's high, and the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2. Cassville, like we said, has the infield in.
Hit it hard, Bubba. Come on.
Here comes the 3-2. That is up the middle. The only play is to first. It is a 6-3 putout. He does get an RBI on the fielder's choice. That brings in another run, and now a wild pitch would end the game as well, as runners will be at second and third. They played the infield in, but the only play was at first base.
Yeah, he hit it up the middle. He just got too much of the baseball on top of it.
Houchin has singled in a run. He's also walked twice. Comes the first pitch to him. That pitch is low, and the count is 1-0. Heffron had an RBI single in the fourth, but Ginger got thrown out trying to score from second.
Game's over, 90 feet away, Ben.
Comes the 1-0, and that's high, and the count's 2-0. Heffron, who's on deck, has been on base all 3 times. There is a base open at first. As here comes the 2-0. That pitch is high and inside, and the count's 3-0. Houchin probably taking here on 3-0. Of course, I said that with Ginger last time, and made a towering foul ball.
Spot, yeah.
And he hits it to second. Second throws to first, and we will see a 6th inning here. Seneca adds 3 more, 10-1 your score here on the KNEO Sports Network.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
The first question that the devil asked the first woman, Eve, in the Garden of Eden was this: hath God said?
Billy Graham.
The devil was trying to plant in man and woman a doubt about the Word of God.
The devil hasn't changed his tactics. He's still trying to convince people that what they read in the Bible isn't really what God meant. Maybe you've doubted something you've read in the Bible, or wondered if the Bible is still relevant today. Don't believe the devil's lies.
This is the Word of God, and it doesn't change from generation to generation. And what was true 1,000 years ago is true today in this book.
If you have doubts or questions about the Bible, visit us at findpeacewithgod.net and click on Grow in Your Christian Faith. That's findpeacewithgod.net from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Colton Roark to start off the 6th, and that is a towering foul ball behind us, and the count's 0-1. Roark 1 for 2 on the day. He has the lone base hit for Cassville here today. The 0-1 hits the outside corner, and the count is 0-2.
I say throw that backside curveball, hit the corner. That's perfect.
As here comes an 0-2 pitch from Sherwood. That pitch is hit through the left side, and Roark has the 2 hits for Cassville. As Mason Bryan comes to the plate, Bryan 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. See if Sherwood tries to pick him off at all. Comes the first pitch. That pitch popped in the air, foul, out of play. Count is 0-1.
He's not messing around in this inning, Ben. He's thrown strikes.
That is 4 straight strikes to start the inning.
So here it is, Cassville. See what you can do.
So here comes the 0-1. They throw behind the runner, and Roark gets back safely. Still nobody out here in the 6th. So here comes the 0-1. That pitch is yanked into right center field, and that could be trouble, but Owen's able to get over and snag it for out number 1. Good jump there by Owens, and there's 1 down.
Read the ball well.
As Miller Reed comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. He has struck out and walked here this afternoon. Seneca completes their game against East Newton tomorrow. We don't know if it'll be here or at East Newton, but we'll have the completion of that one as Roark going to try and take second, and he is in there safely. He's also stolen base twice as that first pitch was a strike, so the count's 0-1. And now they may be changing signs a little bit here with a runner on second.
Yeah, just making sure they're going either second sign or third sign.
But Seneca will have a 5-0 lead in that game tomorrow when it begins the top of the 4th. And Seneca is the away team. Even if that game has to come here, they would be the away team.
Right.
0-1 the count here on Reed. Comes the 0-1. That breaking ball is hit foul, and the count's 0-2.
If I remember right, that's what he did the first time up. Hit a lot of foul balls.
He had 2 foul balls on a 1-2 count.
Yeah.
0-2 the count here on Reed, and if Sherwood wants to see Meltebarger, he's got to be thinking strikes, and there he throws a strike, and it goes to Roark for the putout, 4-3 putout, and there's 2 down for Meltebarger, who's 0 for 1. 2 down here. And this will probably be Sherwood's last batter. Unless Meltebarger swings at the first pitch.
No. We get him out on the first pitch.
Comes the first pitch, and that's high for a ball, so the count is 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood, and that hits the inside corner, and the count is 1-1. Next Seneca broadcast after tomorrow is next Monday when they head to Carl Junction for a non-conference game. So that pitch is fouled straight back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. And a couple non-conference games to end the year for Seneca. If they could win today and tomorrow, finishing 6-2 in the Big 8 is a pretty good year, Darryl, even if you don't win it.
Yes.
Comes the 1-2, and that is in the dirt. Good block there by Ball, and the count's 2-2. It's kind of all muddied up at the top because Lamar has 1 loss. Mount Vernon is in there, and the 1-2 is low, and the count, or that was a 2-2 low, and the count's 3-2. But like Lamar's 1 loss is to Nevada, Nevada's 1 loss is to Seneca, and so there is some wiggle room there. As that 3-2 is hit on a couple hops to Wilson, throws to first, and it's dug out by Ginger at first, and that will end the inning for Cassville in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, 6 in the books. It's 10-1 Seneca.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Ian Heffron to lead off the sixth here for Seneca. Heffron, Prater, and Owens, the three due up here for Seneca as Stearns continues here in the sixth. Seneca can end the game with one run coming in. They have a 10-1 lead.
I'd just soon have the one run, Ben.
I would agree with you. Comes the first pitch to Heffron, and that's fouled off. The count is 0-1. Heffron 1 for 2 on the day. He's reached base all three times. Reached on an error in the first, walked in the third, singled in the fourth. Seneca 10 runs in the game on 5 base hits. Walks and errors are what have killed Cassville here today.
Yeah.
They had 3 errors in the fifth. They have 6 errors total, and they have almost double-digit walks between the two pitchers. The 1-1 is hit right on a line to the shortstop, who will snag it for out number 1. You hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
And that's what you always say, Daryl. Just hit it hard somewhere.
Hit it hard.
He hit it hard. It just happened to be right at the shortstop.
Right at him. Caden Klaus coming to bat.
And so Klaus will bat instead of Prater. So you're basically your extra players batting instead of your DH.
Yeah.
So Klaus gets an at bat here on senior night. First pitch to Klaus is high and inside, and the count's 1-0. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. That is low and outside, and the count's 2-0. I think if Klaus can reach, I think if he takes second and Ryan Owens can bat him in, that'd be nice, a senior scoring a senior. The 2-0 is inside, and the count's 3-0. Though you do have a senior behind him, too, in Braden Roark. So
right.
Senior knocking in a senior would be nice.
Well, hang on, because Caden Klaus, if he gets to walk, he did. Don't be surprised if he doesn't steal.
Well, that's what I was saying, a steal second and have Owens bat him in.
Yeah.
So Klaus reaches here on a walk. And now Owens comes to the plate. He reached on an error in the fifth, but he's 0 for 3 on the day. In the day.
On the day. In the evening. Don't be surprised if he doesn't take off. Caden's quick.
So that first pitch is fouled back to the screen. Counts 0-1. Owens and then Roark if you get that far. Roark beat a Cassville kid to the ball. I guess that's what the chuckling was about.
Oh, yeah, that's Cassville kid looked like he was wanting to square up on him.
As the 0-1 is in there for a strike, and Klaus in safely with the stolen base. 0-2 the count now on Owens, but he saw how good a jump he took, so he took the strike. Now you need to protect with 2 strikes.
And that's tough because he had to let it go. Now he's 0-2. But it's all right. Get it right here, Rhino. Come on, Ryan.
So the 0-2 breaking ball is served out to right, and it's going to fall for a base hit, but Klaus had to hold up at second to make sure it fell. So runners are at first and third for Roark.
Oh.
Roark singled in the fifth. He's also been hit by a pitch and struck out.
You know what I'm thinking about right now.
Let's see if they have Ryan Owens try and get to second.
No. Only one out.
Suicide squeeze.
Yes.
Maybe a safety squeeze here. Suicide squeeze is risky with one out and that other runner not out.
With one
scoring
out.
position.
One out.
As it's inside on row arc, so the count's 1-0. See if Owens tries to take second at some point to leave the double play ball out of position as Cassville has to play the infield in. And Owens going to take second without a throw. And so there you eliminate the double play ball. Cassville shortstop and second baseman didn't even move.
Yeah, he's talking to him.
So the 2-0 is swung on and missed, and the count 2-1.
Infield playing in, trying to protect that home plate. Only one out.
With that one run to try and let them get to seventh inning. 2-1 pitch is popped foul out of play, and the count 2-2. See if Roark can get a base hit here to end the game. Even a long fly ball would do the trick with Klaus's speed. 2-2, and he just gets a piece to keep himself alive.
Stayed alive.
Which is all you can ask for if you're Daryl Harbaugh.
Stay alive. Get that one run in, and as you know as I do, Hagen didn't have to pitch.
2-2 the count here on Roark. Comes another 2-2. That breaking ball hit to second. They're going to come home and in safely. Klaus beats the throw home, and Seneca is going to win this game by a final score of 11-1 as Klaus comes in and scores here for the Indians. 11-1 your final score. Seneca improves to 17-6 overall, 5-2 in Big 8 play. Cassville falls to 6-10-1, 0-6 in Big 8 play. The postgame show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District after this break on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
And we welcome you back as Seneca with the victory here, 11-1 your final score. And we're going to get all the seniors in here and have a quick conversation with all of them. The postgame show is sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. And Daryl, go ahead.
Hey, we got Braden Roark here, one of the seniors coming in. And got the last run in anyway. Good base hit, or I don't know if it was a base hit or not, but at least you made the fielder's choice out of it. Got it in, but a good win tonight.
Yes, sir.
Well, you did a good job playing second, but you've done a good job all year whenever they've had to move you around, and we've had to move people around today. So you've done a great job. How does it feel like to at least get in senior night with a win?
It feels good to come out here and play with our boys, and especially get a win at the end of the night.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
You did a good job, and you've improved all year long, and we are looking forward to the postseason, get along district. Let's go get a win tomorrow night at East Newton, finish that one off, and then we can worry about getting a good game, but everything set up at district time. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll let you go, Braden. We'll get the next senior in here. So we're going to get Ryan Owens in here.
We're going to get Ryan Owens in here. We're doing seniors, all seniors tonight because it's senior night because they got to get down there and do the turn right quick. But, Ryan, I'll tell you what, you got injured, you come back, everything like that. You've done a great job out here in right field. Every time when you come back, you've solidified this team. I'm telling you what, it's a whole different club when you're out there on that field.
Yes, sir. I'd come back and just try to almost enhance all the fielders, play with little juice, fire them up. We're all having fun, playing best.
Hey, you and swinging the bat, you're swinging the bat well. You've come back swinging the bat well. You're playing in right field, and feels good to get a W on senior night, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Feels good.
All right, we'll get the next one in here. Just rapid fire here. Who does go on next? We'll get Caden.
We're getting Caden Klaus in here next. We're going along the line here, but Caden Klaus, these last three seniors have been going since their freshman year. 4 years out there in left field. Now you're playing center field. You're playing all over to whoever has to move around. Caden, you've done a great job all year long and made some heck of a plays out there in left field this year.
Yeah, I love playing outfield, and definitely makes the job easy when you got three great pitchers that pitch every week. Again, it just makes it really easy out there.
Well, you got to score the winning run, did you not tonight, or the game-ending run? Let's put it that way,
yeah.
And at least get to end it on a good note. So, Caden, Klaus, we're glad to see you back, and good to see you, and we're going to look forward to seeing you in the postseason. Okay?
All right, thank you.
We're going to get along. Grant Houchin, come here. Like I said, here's one of these three pitchers. We got a three-headed monster going on. There you go. Some people might want to hear you talk. Who knows? And one of the main pitchers in your senior year. You've been doing this ever since you was a freshman. These last three seniors have. I tell you what's it feel like being in your senior year?
It's a little bittersweet because I love playing baseball, but it's time to move on with life.
Well, I tell you what, it ain't time.
Not quite yet. Let's go. You still got at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, let's go a few more weeks. Let's get through district. Let's see if we can get through district, and let's see if we can get to state games. Okay?
Yeah, obviously.
That would be all right to watch you pitch up there. That'd be absolutely awesome. You've done a great job all year hitting, playing third base, playing shortstop. You've had to move around too this year as well, and you've done a great job. It has been fun to watch you play for the last 4 years.
Thank you.
And we'll let Grant go, and
we'll let you Grant go to get your parents and make sure you got it. All right, give me this little old twerp last.
And in case people don't know, Hagen is Daryl's grandson, so that's why he says that all the time.
I know. I call him everything up here in the booth, little old snot. But anyway, Hagen, 4 years out here. You didn't think it'd ever come to this, did you? Never thought you'd ever get here.
Nope, but we're here.
Ever since you was a freshman, you'd been out there playing first base and a shortstop. You even had to play right field a couple times this year when Ryan was hurt. But what'd you tell the coach first of the year?
I said I'll play wherever. It don't matter.
I'll play wherever. It doesn't matter as long as we can do what?
Win.
As long as we can win. You've done a great job all year. I know you're pressing for that stolen base record. But if it happens, it happens. It don't. But you've kind of set the tone on the bases this year. I mean, you're aggressive on the bases. I know you tried to. It took a perfect throw to get you out tonight from second base.
I got ripped a little bit for that one, not getting a big enough jump on second. But
Ian
did a great job.
Your secondary leadoff wasn't quite up to par. But anyway, you've done a great job all year. And what's it feel like coming out with a win in your senior night? Anyway,
great. Let's go do it again tomorrow.
Let's take care of business tomorrow, one game at a time, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's look ahead. Let's see if we can't get through districts this year and get to states. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, let's go win it all.
Be great, wouldn't it?
Sounds good. As we'll let Hagen go and get Coach in here quick, get him a quick word before senior night.
Yeah, before he has to take down there for ceremonies. I talked to Chris yesterday, Coach Hughes, and I told him, I said, you're coming up talking if we get a W.
Yeah, I'll come up anytime.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was senior night. It was a good win for the boys. Good win for the program here. What are we
17-6 overall, and 5-2 in Big 8 play.
Yeah, conditions weren't great tonight, especially if you're on the mound. And Drew battled through that. Gave one unearned run in the one inning, a few walks there, but conditions were brutal there for a while.
You look at those first 3 innings. It was a steady rain throughout, and so be able to battle through that.
It looked like Drew had to pitch in the hardest rain, in the toughest rain when he was out there. In just that one inning, he gave up 1 run.
Yeah, and it was tough conditions, and he battled through it. And credit to our offense today, putting up runs in all the innings but one, and putting 11 on the board.
Yeah, it does good when you see the boys hit the baseball, put pressure on the other team, and these kids are going to steal every time they get a chance to. They do a great job of it, and looks like you promoted to be aggressive on the bases this year.
We always want to be aggressive on the bases, and if we got our chances, get those extra bases and get a chance to get people in.
So we got East Newton tomorrow night.
Yes, we're up 5-0 going into the 4th inning on that one. Grant will take the mound there, and hopefully close that one out and give us a good chance for 1 seed in districts.
And don't know about Saturday yet.
Saturday, yes, we're going to play at Webb City at noon on Saturday. This is playing right now.
Okay, at Webb City at noon. Mm-hmm. All right, and then Monday at CJ,
and then home versus Wheatland on Tuesday.
Game you picked
only. Yep.
Okay, game you picked up here at the end, but that'd be a good test. Yeah. And then when is district seating meeting?
Thursday.
Thursday, so we'll know Thursday. You'll put it out Thursday exactly what we get.
Yes.
On the seed, okay, and when we play, and it'd probably be the Monday following, right?
If we get a bye, it'll be the following Monday. It starts Friday. A week from Friday is when districts start, and then 3 teams get a bye, and there's 1 game on Friday. So.
Okay. Well, Chris, we'll let you go. We know you got yourself a busy couple of days here. We'll let you go. Make sure you honor your seniors here this evening.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Coach Hughes with us.
Seneca gets the victory here. The final score, 11-1. Your score, and Darryl, like we talked about, Seneca 11 runs, 6 hits on the afternoon. The big thing was 6 errors by Cassville, and then also they were very close to double-digit walks as well, 9 or 10 walks on the day.
Well, it gets to the point is like told you, we talked about it earlier. It's like the conditions of this game tonight was tough, and it was tough on the fielders because, in the rain, you get a ball hit to you, it's wet, it's running through the I'd say turf, I guess the turf out there, running through the turf. It's getting soaked. You pick it up, and you're used to picking a dry ball up and throwing it fast. Now you got to pick it up, try to make a better grip on it, throw it to first. You can't be quick with it. It's a tough situation when the ball's like this. You just have to be solid and try to play good fundamental baseball. And fortunately for Seneca tonight, Cassville made more errors than we did.
You look at the game here today, Drew Sherwood, like you said, picked up the win. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Like you said, the conditions kind of helped this. 5 base on balls for him, but 9 strikeouts as well. And he battled there to be able to finish that 6th inning.
I tell you that you know as well as I do, Ben, he pitched that 1 inning in the worst rain conditions, the hardest rain, and they were switching baseballs all the time. He had trouble finding the strike zone. He walked a few. They got around. And how he got 3 outs with all that and they only scored 1 run, I don't know. The kids behind him did a great job.
You look at it, too, there, Darryl. There was a play at the plate as well that they were able to get an out. That was a big second out for them.
Yeah, there was a great play. I can't remember who threw that in there. Right now, I can't remember who threw it to home plate to get that. Was that Grant?
No, I think it was Jagger because I think they went first and then second and then home.
They tried to steal the first and third. Hagen threw it to Jagger.
And
Jagger
Hagen had the nice pick.
Yeah,
at first base. And Darryl, like we said, you think about the 5 seniors. Jackson Stevens is the manager. Plus, We jokingly say, I forget, one of the girls up here, too,
Yes.
was also a senior as well. And so, those
Merriman.
Yeah,
Anna-
those
Anna
girls do
Merriman.
a great job. We make fun of them. They make fun of us, I'm sure. But you just look at all of them. Manager is just as important sometimes to help take the load off a head coach and assistant coach.
You can't imagine how important those girls are just to keep things in order and like you said, it makes it easier on the head coach when you've got people taking care of stuff and want to take care of stuff and want to help you out.
And then Jackson Stevens, another manager, you see him out there all the time at practice helping head coach Chris Hughes to assistant coach Dave Sherwood as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got these guys out here, these kids out here that want to help. They want to be a part of it. That's absolutely great. And, man, they are so valuable to the team, more than what you would think and more than what they think they're valuable.
And then, Darryl, like we said, the 5 seniors, talk about the 2 that necessarily weren't playing all 4 years, but Ryan Owens and Braden Roark, the first 2.
Well, Ryan, we used to make fun of Ryan because he would get hit all the time in the box. I mean, it was all we taught him as a baseball magnet, because I know one JV game he got hit 4 straight at bats. And so he would get hit all the time. But anyway, he stayed with it. He's worked his way. He worked his way to play right field this year. And you saw, Ben, when he got injured, he hurt his knee. Everybody was having to switch around. You saw how the team was. And we won a few games, but we lost a few games. But how well the team is, how better the team is when Ryan is in the bat and when Ryan is playing.
And then Braden Roark as well.
Braden Roark has come in and solidified an infield position and done a great job. And him and Jagger's working well. If they have a chance to turn 2, they're good at it. They've gotten good at it this year, and he's just solidified that spot and made it solid on the infield.
And then, obviously, like you said, the 3 seniors that have been playing since they're freshmen, Caden Klaus, Grant Houchin, and we'll save Hagen for last. But talk about those 2 first.
Well, if you remember sometimes, Ben, when the year before they were Seneca's baseball was pretty good.
Yeah, they lost in the district championship 2 years ago.
And then they lost. Okay. Before they come in, their freshman year when they come in, they graduate a lot of seniors. So here they are, a young baseball team. Well, here you got Grant Houchin at third. You had Hagen at shortstop and Caden Klaus in left field. You had the whole left side. That's nothing but freshmen. Okay, and they're good baseball players. Don't get me wrong, but they're freshmen, and they've grown into like they said, seniors this year, and the 4 years have just been good. And Grant's always been good on the mound. He battles hard. He's a competitor out there. And Caden Klaus is, like I said, you play outfield. His brother played outfield, and it just into him, and you get better at it all the time, and pretty good playing outfield. And then Hagen at first base has been just a solid key, because he's not going to get the best throws over there, and he's always had a pretty good glove at bailing those guys out that just scooping them up pretty good too.
And they do get an extra home game, like Coach said. Originally this was supposed to be the last home game, but they get one next Tuesday as well, and then you're hoping for a sectional game if you can get that far.
If you can get that far, you can't even think about that. You can't think about that until you get through
districts.
You got to get through this. Let's go to districts. Let's see if we can get the 1 seed, and see if we can beat East Newton, finish East Newton off, get the 1 seed, and then we'll sit there and see if we can get our pitchers lined up and see if we can't get this team ready to play districts and maybe get through districts. Sectionals here would be absolutely huge for these kids.
I mean, you look at last year Seneca finished 18-13 overall. They're 17-6 with 4 games left in the regular season. Still a chance to beat that and have a chance at 20 wins on the year.
Lot to those seniors. And it gives a lot of credit to those seniors and being the senior leadership for this team.
That will do it for us here this evening. The post-game show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. For Coach Darryl Harbaugh and Ben Wolcott saying so long here from Seneca. We thank you so much for watching high school baseball here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network. Once again, Seneca at East Newton tomorrow. That game will start in the top of the fourth. Seneca, a 5-0 lead. We'll have that broadcast. We'll probably start our pregame show like normal at 4:10 p.m., and then the game will restart in the top of the fourth at 4:30. So I'm Ben Wolcott for Coach Darryl Harbaugh saying so long here from Seneca. Thank you so much for watching high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference.